Hey, this is Aditya from LightHaven, and today let's talk about cutting and thrusting for speed versus cutting for power. In Pekiti Tirsia we have a saying that every thrust should be followed by a slash and every slash is followed by a thrust. That's where our first slash comes in. We call this a broken slash. Essentially, a simple way of explaining a broken slash is any slash that does not have a follow through. So that's a follow through, that's a follow through. As you can see, the weapon, once it finishes cutting, what happens? That follow through. Any cut that does not have that follow through becomes a broken slash, right? And of course, in reality, you're going to be cycling between broken slashes and fluid slashes, which is kind of what today's video is about. On the other end of the spectrum is slashes with follow throughs. We call them fluid slashes. So any slash with a follow through is called a fluid slash. The advantage of a broken slash is that I can recover quickly, or I can add a thrust at the end and then add a slash at the end of that. So I can go slash and thrust, slash and thrust, slash and thrust. And for Pekiti this works really well because, as you might already know, a lot of our thrusts are these curving thrusts, right? We don't generally like to thrust in a straight line. For us, we prefer using these curving thrusts for a bunch of reasons which we're not going to get into in this video. But because we prefer these curving thrusts, we can have combinations of broken slashes and thrusts. So I can go slash and thrust, slash and thrust, slash and thrust. So I can have many attacks in a short period of time, and also I can keep my attacks very compact as opposed to letting them go outside of my body where it might take a long time for them to recover. However, there is a disadvantage in the broken slashes. What they make up for in speed of recovery, they lose in just power and ability to cut through a target and to inflict large slashes. That's where our fluid slashes come in. This follow through allows me to add a lot of power behind my slash and allows me to have long, deep lacerations when I'm using this attack. And this is going to apply whether I'm using a sword or a stick. If I'm using a stick, that follow through is going to allow me to have a lot of power. If you think about any bat sport, any racket sport, cricket or baseball or golf, we're always talking about follow through because that follow through just allows me to hit through the ball, and in the Filipino martial arts, that follow through allows me to hit through the target. So the broken slash is great at recovering and having combinations that stack slash and thrust, slash and thrust, slash and thrust, or just slash at different levels. But the fluid slash allows me to hit with power. And like I said in the beginning, we need both at different times. Very quickly, when I'm teaching a new student, I show them this drill which combines our broken slashes with our fluid slashes. You can do these with any broken and fluid slashes, any angles, but we're going to keep it simple today and we're going to do angle 1 and angle 2. So I'm going to start from my shoulder load position and I'm going to go broken angle 1. I'm going to pull it right back. So broken angle 1 is I'm hitting 1 o'clock and then I'm pulling it right back to the shoulder, and then I'm going to go fluid angle 1. So I'm going to go 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, follow through, it's going to come to the other shoulder. Then from here, broken angle 2, so that's just 11 o'clock, pull it back, and then fluid angle 2, 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock, follow through, come back to the shoulder. So broken, fluid, broken, fluid, broken, fluid, broken, fluid. Now let's add some footwork into this. For the sake of this video, I'm only going to be using my open triangle footwork, but you can be doing close triangle, ranging footwork, whatever it is that you want. We want 2 attacks on each step. So I'm going to step broken, fluid, switch sides, broken, fluid, switch sides, broken, fluid, broken, fluid. We want to also ensure that we're doing equal number of repetitions on our right hand as well as our left hand. I'm going to take a quick break in the video to tell you a little bit about the exclusive content that we offer on our YouTube memberships and on our Patreon page. On both pages, we have exclusive extended versions of these YouTube videos that go out for free for everybody. We have extended versions of those. On both pages, we also have a series called the Drill of the Week, where I take double stick, single stick, double knife, single knife, stick and knife, empty hands, and I give you a set of drills that you can spend the entire week practicing. But on our Patreon page, we have 2 exclusive series. One is called a 2 horns training thoughts, where I give you my thoughts on training, my thoughts on fighting when my students are approaching fights, my philosophy around the martial arts in general. The other is a series called Ancient Arts Modern Warriors, which is an extended opportunity for you and me to geek out or nerd out on the martial arts together. So we're talking about the relevance of the martial arts, the evolution of the martial arts, how arts may be or may not be connected to each other. I have extended versions of the interviews that normally go out on YouTube. I have exclusive interviews with different martial artists that are not available anywhere else. So if you'd like to know more about any of these pages, do check out the links in the description down below. Now back to the video. Now I love this drill. It teaches us so many different things, and it also just introduces us to that same concept of broken versus fluid. However, there are some things that we can get wrong. The first thing that I most commonly see is when I ask people to do broken strikes, they do this. It's like a wrist motion. It's not. I don't want it to be a wrist motion. I want to extend my arm so I can get the full reach of my weapon, right? I want to extend and pull back. That's the other thing. I don't want it to just come back here. I also don't want it to hover somewhere over my shoulder. I want to extend and pull it back until it touches my shoulder again. And the middle of the weapon approximately is what's going to touch my shoulder. So I'm going to go broken, full extension. I'm trying to also hit with the top 2/3 of the weapon. I'm trying to not punch, right? I don't want to punch with my hand. So if I do it right, my hand should not be in line with my shoulder. The top 2/3 of the weapon is what should be in line with my face. My hand will be somewhere in line with my sternum if I do this right. One of the other big mistakes is people tend to punch with this attack, and that tends to expose the hand a little too much. So get full extension, but make sure you're hitting with the top 2/3 of the weapon and not your hand. And when you recover and pull back, make sure the middle of the weapon is what's touching your shoulder, and that you are touching your shoulder. For the fluid attack, same thing. People do this. Now, I'm not hitting a child down there, right? I want to still extend in front of me, and I want a full follow through. The way the follow through is explained to me is if I'm fighting somebody over there, the follow through should be a deterrent for somebody coming from behind me. So the weapon is literally facing behind me. Now that's a cool way of reasoning, but for me the follow through is all about power. I want that follow through so I can hit through that target, or with a sword, so I can cut through that target. So make sure that you have a complete follow through, especially on the angle 2, that you have a complete follow through, that the weapon goes all the way around until it comes back here. This is really important for when I need to generate power into my strikes. I need that follow through. The last thing to watch out for is to make sure they're hitting the correct faces of the clock. So the broken is 1 o'clock, fluid is 1 to 7 on my right hand, broken angle 2 is 11 o'clock, fluid is 11 to 5 on my right hand. On my left hand it's going to be opposite, right? Broken angle 1 is going to be just 11, fluid is going to be 11 to 5, angle 2 is going to be just 1, fluid is going to be 1 to 7. So make sure you're hitting the correct clock faces, your edge is aligned as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. If you have anything to add, any comments, any questions, please do leave that in the comments down below. Please do subscribe to the channel. All of these things really help out the school and the channel a lot. A huge thank you to everybody on our Patreon page and everybody on YouTube memberships. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you'd like to know more about the exclusive content that we offer on both the pages, check out the links in the description down below. Lastly, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.